Welcome to the Mind Your Business Show. I am Tony Calloway, the Private Money Godfather, and today you are in for a treat. We're going to be interviewing an expert in marketing because marketing is the thing that you need to make sure that everybody knows who you are, what you offer, and they come bring their money to you. So please stay tuned. We're glad you showed up, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Mind Your Business Show. I'm your host, Tony Calloway, the Private Money Godfather, and we're delighted to have you here because today we're going to be talking about marketing your business with an expert that she's incomparable to anybody else. I mean, she's exciting, she's energetic, and she knows her stuff. And here she is, Versandra Kennebrew. Versandra, thank you for being on the Mind Your Business Show, and you got a lot to share with people, so I don't want to take a lot of time, but like I said, the best of the best is right here, and she is many things, but not only a dear friend, but she's also the Chief Marketing Officer for the Private Money Syndicate. So, Versandra, glad to have you with us today.
Yes, I'm super excited to be here on the Mind Your Business Show because we have some things we are going to share with our audience that we know for a fact. Some of them may be things that you've never heard of before, and then some of them will be just little reminders of what you may need to do to build and grow your business from the standpoint of marketing.
Awesome. Well, before we get into the content, your credentials are like a mile long. So if you would, share, because I want you guys to pay attention, know who it is that's speaking to you today. Talk about your background and we'll use that to set the stage for the conversation.
Okay, thank you. Well, my background began, I have to say, a long, long time ago when I got my very first job in retail. It was, 40 plus years ago. And one thing about retail is that you learn all aspects of sales and marketing because that's what your goal is to get those cash registers ringing. And before the cash registers ring, you have to get people into the door. And so marketing was a big part of what I did even way back then at age 14 working at Parisian. Then I moved on. By 19 years of age, I was a store manager, believe it or not. That moved on until I became a district sales manager, running 22 stores in 3 states. And
Wow.
Every part of this retail journey, marketing was a part of it. Mm-hmm. And I had to really work with the store presidents, store managers, assistant managers, the whole management team to assist them with best marketing practices for the retail stores. Fast forward a little bit, I moved into the career of holistic health and wellness. Became a massage therapist in 1999, and one of my claims to fame in the marketing world when it comes down to health and wellness is a wonderful stint that I worked with Whole Foods Market in Detroit, Michigan, helping them to open the very first Whole Foods Market in the city of Detroit. And marketing was a huge deal because we're talking about at that point in time, there had not been a chain grocery store in the city in about 20 years.
Wow.
And so that was a strange situation,
Mm-hmm.
but it required a different type of marketing because it wasn't enough just to do the traditional Whole Foods marketing that's everywhere. You see it on television, you see it,
right.
You hear it on the radio, you see it in advertisement in magazines, those type of things. This marketing had to be grassroots. We had to literally get in the streets. We had to go to churches and community events, those type of things, getting the word out before the market ever opened. And then we did continuing marketing activities, which included having what they called a community space where individuals who had businesses were able to come there and utilize the space. But what it did was help people to understand the Whole Food Market brand on a different level. We always gave away products that had the brand, those type of things. And then, of course, working with Private Money Syndicate has been a wonderful marketing experience over the past almost 4 years, I believe we came up with. It is just a wonderful thing to work with an organization. It's different from anything I've ever done before, but we engaged in a wonderful campaign as it related to social media marketing. So social media marketing is another form of marketing, but it still is really about the same thing, getting your message out into the world, helping people to understand that you are here to do business and helping them to see what your brand is all about. So, of course, I market for my own business, Optimal Living Education and Retreats. And I am marketing to you right now just by bringing you into this beautiful space that's serene, waterfall in the background, the lighting and everything. That's all a part of the marketing strategy because optimal living starts here. And this environment is a part of what optimal living looks like. It makes you feel good.
Wow. And it definitely does feel good in here. I'm sure all of you wish you were here, but this is the most serene environment that you could ever want to be in. Now, there's one other thing, Versandra, that's really pertinent to what we're going to talk about today, and that is your evolution to become a leader, a distinguished Toastmaster in the Toastmasters organization. So make that part of the story too.
Yes. That's most recent. And I'm happy to announce that I am the new Club Growth Director elect until July 1st, where I will officially take on that role. And that is really all about helping to get the Toastmasters brand out there in the whole state of Georgia. I am actually working with 130 clubs in this area. And when I say this area, I'm talking about east of I-85. That's my territory for Toastmasters. But right here in Columbus, Georgia, we have 13 clubs. 13 clubs. And that's one thing most people are not aware of, which means I need to get busy with marketing.
And I'm sure you will. But now let's get very specific on the marketing topic. Now, I have this saying that marketing, as Versandra alluded to, is everything that a business does to get you to the store.
Yes.
And advertising, which is related to marketing, is what gets you from the store to the cash register.
Yes.
So we can make that delineation, what we want to focus on today. And the perspective is of small business, entrepreneurs, things that you should be doing to give your business the better odds of success, because in one of our previous episodes, I made the point that 90% of small businesses fail. Yes. And one of the things we say at the Private Money Syndicate is that we want to have 0% infant mortality. And what I mean by that is startup businesses not going out of business when they work with us. And of course, Versandra is part of our very eclectic team of experts. So let's get inside and I like to always say, give an example of somebody who I think was doing it wrong. Okay. Yeah. Now, sitting outside of my office one day was a pickup that had I guess you call that a camper on the back, and whoever had a glass side to the camper, and I can't remember the name of the business. I took a picture of it. Sorry, I can't recall. I probably wouldn't want to say it anyway. But their business had everything in the world on it. Like they did hair, they cut grass, they towing, auto repair, paint, and it was just a scattered mess. And I remember thinking that, and that's why I took the picture. This is ineffective marketing. Mm-hmm. You're letting people know that you do a lot of things, but is that going to attract a customer that wants to do business? Of course, they did have their phone number on there, which I thought was cool. No website. But all right, so just take that as the scrambled egg of of marketing and refine that so that people don't make mistakes. I say if you don't do what people do wrong, but then you do the things that people do right, you got a heck of a lot better chance of being successful. Yes. So yeah, just take it from there. And
yes, I certainly will, because you are right. It's scrambled and there is no focus. First thing you have to keep in mind in that particular situation is that when you have a moving vehicle, a person that is going to actually read that you're going to get a few seconds of their attention.
Okay.
So if that car is moving, you want to put simple messaging. That simple messaging definitely wouldn't have anything to do with all of the things that that organization or company provided. If that person were to say something as simple as "we're a jack of all trades," that says I do a lot of things. Okay. Call here if you want to know more. That could have been an easier way of saying we do a lot of things, give us a call. Or you could say simply, we do a lot of things to help you, give us a call. But to put so many different things there, the person that's reading, before they could even get to the phone number, they would have been lost in trying to read the message.
Yeah.
So the other thing that could have been done in that situation is definitely what you said, there wasn't a website there. If you have a lot of things going on, giving a website is the easiest way to get people to your website or your online brochure, if you will, where people can look and find the details. So website and phone number. It's really that simple. You do not have to get into the brochure on the car type of situation. That doesn't work.
Yeah. And that is a perfect segue to tell you why you need to contact the Private Money Syndicate. You can reach us at www.privatemoneysyndicate.com or give us a call at 706-888-3719 because we want to power your dreams with private money, and Versandra here is part of the team. So back to the discussion. Had to put my plug in.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Now, we were talking before we came on camera about people knowing their customer and identifying their values in terms of the value proposition of the customer, and then coming up with a slogan that gives an essence of that. So if you would discuss that for a moment. Yes.
I love that. Toastmasters. Toastmasters is where leaders are made. One thing about this brand, when you see this, you see the colors. They're going to be consistent no matter what. You're going to see the logo. It shows a world, a globe, lets you know we're worldwide. We're international, 164 countries. The colors will not change no matter where you see this. And then here, the messaging is simply ask me about Toastmasters. That is a quick, easy, simple thing. What is Toastmasters? I'm so happy you asked. Toastmasters is where leaders are made. That is the slogan. Mm-hmm. It's simple. We don't have to tell you right off the bat that we have an amazing leadership training program that takes about 2 to 3 years to complete. And if you choose a path that represents what you're doing on your job, is going to help you to get a promotion on your job, is going to help you to possibly move on and even start your own business. I'm not going to tell you all of those things because I don't have time to do that in your initial contact with me. Mm-hmm. But where leaders are made would be a simple message that lets you think, leaders. Well, where would I need leadership? Everybody needs leadership. From your household, we need leaders to run our houses, right? Our homes. Mm-hmm. We need leaders in our communities, our civic leaders. We need leaders in businesses. Exactly. In each and every one of our businesses, we need leaders. We do not want just individuals hanging out getting paychecks. We need people who are leaders who can make decisions. And even if they need to make decisions with the support of someone else, they know how to communicate that. They don't sit in a closet wondering, what do I do? They don't go through those changes. They make decisive decisions and then they move forward even when it's done with the help of others. So leadership is what we do at Toastmasters, and we do it in many forms. We do it in the form of corporate clubs. TSYS, AFLAC, they have multiple clubs. For many Fortune 500 clubs, actually the top 100, every single one of them have Toastmasters clubs within their organizations. Then we have our Toastmasters club most recently that was chartered at Troy University. That's a university club. So we're talking about those individuals who are being educated. They are enhancing their leadership skills as well, because it's imperative for them to do so, to set themselves apart from all of the other people who are learning the same type of information and the same type of skills, but that leadership is what's going to make the next leaders of these organizations.
Okay. So it's clear that that's the central theme there in Toastmasters. And I guess as a parallel, and I got help from an expert, that the slogan for the Private Money Syndicate is "We power dreams with private money."
Yes.
And the focus is dreams, and everything that we promote in our graphic, visual types of marketing is not real estate and business. How do you show a loan? But the fact of the matter is that the financing helps people to not only grow their businesses, but have them be able to enjoy a lifestyle that is the desire that drives them through the process of starting a business or real estate investing in the first place. Now, your business, Optimal Living Education and Retreats, just give everybody a taste. Okay, what's the value proposition and what's the slogan, and then some of those other attributes that we were just discussing?
Yes. Well, Optimal Living Education and Retreats, our slogan is simple. Optimal living starts here, which is also the name of our television show that you can watch on Beam TV. But what's really great about that, it puts the effort right here with you. It doesn't start out there. And what does optimal living look like? It looks like the environment that you see us sitting in right now. It looks happy and joyful, like my beautiful smile. It looks fit. It looks healthy. It looks well. I put it out there all the time that I'm 58 years amazing. And that makes me feel good to say that, because I know that age 30, I did not look or feel like I look today. In fact, I feel and look better than I did at age 30. Awesome. And that's because of the lifestyle, the holistic lifestyle that Optimal Living Education and Retreats supports individuals with. Now, we do take a little bit different spin on this whole optimal living thing, because we support active duty military veterans and their families with living more healthy, happy lives. So we get a little bit specific with it because of our location. We were founded right here in Columbus, Georgia, and we discovered we had this wonderful epiphany during the breakdown of the country and the world when everything shut down. We had the epiphany. We are surrounded by hundreds of thousands of military personnel, active duty, and retired or veterans. So why not bring optimal living to individuals who have served and protected our country oh so well? So I call them our local heroes. So that's who I decided I wanted to target as my customer base. Okay. So that's what we do with Optimal Living Education and Retreats.
All right. So let me extract from that an important part of marketing is doing, as Versandra just gave you an example of, looking at your marketplace and looking at the value proposition. And I always say that the object of a business is to serve a customer by being able to provide a service or a product in adequate quantities and at a price that allows you to make a profit. Now, backing that all the way back, it all starts with the customer. Like you just said, optimal living starts here. We power dreams with private money. Toastmasters, where leaders are made. Every business, like McDonald's, Burger King, you can tell I eat a lot of fast food. All these little things, the colors, the music, even the characters. If you think of the Geico commercials with Flo and what the other guy's name is, but the caricatures, the Gecko, for Geico. And so here's the point, as a small business person, one of the things that I want to say, because most people are probably like me, but my advantage is I know I have deficiencies, and a lot of solopreneurs are out wanting to do everything themselves. Yes. Now, on the other hand, I like to do what I do best and then surround myself with experts. Yes. And I'm sure you can tell that Versandra's an expert when it comes to marketing. And that's why she's part of our team. Not only does she support what we're doing with the Private Money Syndicate, but part of our services to our clients is to help their businesses to succeed by giving them the technology tools, the marketing tools, the graphic design, all kind of support. So if you go to privatemoneysyndicate.com and look at the About Us page, you'll see all these advisors who are there so that when you get the funding, you are in that 0% infant mortality range, which is what we're seeking to do, whether it's on the real estate side or the business side. So, Versandra, if you would talk from your consultative role to help a client understand how you would take them from them explaining their business idea, what they're doing, and help them to craft these messages and help them to get a very clear marketing strategy in place.
Okay. Well, definitely the first thing is an assessment. No matter what, you're going to start at that point, because sometimes a person has been in their business for so long, or they've been in the middle of the process of pulling it together to where they can't see from the outside looking in. And so what you do is ask a series of questions that helps you to get that person that has the business to describe to you who their audience is, what they're looking to accomplish, what problem they are solving in the marketplace, because that is huge with any business. You need to know, because people are purchasing, they're buying solutions to problems. They're not just spending money because they just like to see it flow out of their bank account. So that's important. So after we sit down and we decide what is there, what do we know already, then we got to decide, well, where do we go from here? How do we spread this message about this particular business or organization to the specific audience that we're looking to reach? Well, we look at the assets of that particular company and what they have to use to get the message out. Some people use a show like this wonderful TV show. Some people use media, multimedia. Some people use social media, which can be a little bit of everything. Social media involves multimedia. It involves copy or writing of words. It involves photos, videos. It involves bringing people into your space. That's a wonderful way of using social media so people can see on the inside out. And once we've discovered, okay, this is what you have to use to get your message out. Oh, I got to say, even events. Sometimes events might be the best method of getting the marketing message out. I was telling Tony prior to this event, this interview here, is that I use market days in Columbus, uptown market days. Every single Saturday, I am out there setting up with my booth, because my business is such that a photo alone or video alone would not really help you to get to the cash register per se. But an experience where you're sitting down with me, Tony tells me all the time, now that's one of my greatest assets. It's like, you have to meet her.
Exactly.
You don't get it until you meet her.
Yes.
And so, I recognize that as one of my best, value propositions. And so I make it my business to get out there in the community, face to face, creating environments and experiences for people to see and feel and touch what it is that I have to offer them. And so that's pretty much how we decide what we're going to do. And then you have to create a strategy. So if it's a year-long strategy where you're starting, I like to look at the end. What is the final look of this particular campaign? What do you want it to produce? How many new customers? All the things you want to get out of it. And then you back yourself back up to where you are and you say, okay, these are the things that are necessary for me to do to get there. What's great about social media? Oh my God, this is wonderful. What's wonderful is that social media has insights. It tracks everything and it keeps data. that allows you to see how your marketing activities are actually affecting the individual you're looking to reach. You go in the back of your business insights and you will find how many women, how many men came to your site, how many clicked on whatever it is that you had to show on your Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever platforms you're on. You get to notice where they're coming to your page from. Are they local or are they coming from somewhere else? You get to see how long they even spend on your page and on your website. Mm-hmm. I know for Private Money Syndicate, we have Milt that does an amazing job with keeping us abreast of how long people are spending on the web page. Did they come to the home page and then they dropped off altogether? Or did they go to the home page and click and went to the about page? Then they went to this other page. Did they spend 30 minutes or did they spend 10 seconds? Those are all things that help you to identify whether the marketing efforts that you have in place are working or not, and it allows you the opportunity to tweak it if you need to.
And that's, those are all good points. And I'll go back to what I was saying about having somebody who's an expert and helping you to take that data and turn it into actionable efforts, into campaigns and those kind of things. Because as we were saying off camera, there's a difference between somebody who's a novice and somebody who's a pro. Okay. Now you can have novice understanding, which is important, or you can take all the time in the world to become a pro. But I believe that hiring a pro, and I'm going to learn from her, but the fact is you get things done, you get them done fast, you get them done effectively, and effectiveness and efficiency saves you money and makes you money. Mm-hmm. So, I always say that I don't necessarily want to learn how to bake cakes. I want to know somebody who knows how to bake cakes and hang out with them, especially after they got done cooking one. But now let's kind of go back just for a moment, and this will relate back to Toastmasters, because being able to communicate effectively is one of the things I think Toastmasters is well known for. But as a small business entrepreneur, to be able to speak in public, to understand how to quickly and impactfully communicate your message, what would be the reasons why somebody might want to consider joining Toastmasters, and that being an important part of them developing part of their brand and their ability to communicate through their marketing mediums?
Yes. This is really a perfect example of why they want to join Toastmasters. An interview like this, if you have an opportunity to interview with someone about your business, you have to be able to articulate a specific message. You have to also be able to stay on point. One of the biggest issues that people have with communication is that they can't focus. They have lots of thoughts running around in their minds. And then when it comes down to effectively getting their message across, when it's all said and done, they'll come back and say, oh my God, I said a lot of things, but what I really wanted to say was X, Y, Z. Well, in Toastmasters, you learn how to have somewhat of an outline before you get in front of a camera, before you have a conversation with another individual. So you have those key points focused. You are focused on those key points. You see it all the time in politics. If you watch the news today, you will watch someone ask a question of a political person. And a lot of times, the question that was asked is never answered by design. They came to that interview with some key points that they expected to get across to the audience of millions of people who were watching. And so therefore, even though the question was very specific, they might say something like a tiny little point, tangential, and then they then they shift and they go to, well, what I would like to say today is, that's what Toastmasters is going to teach you. Another thing, this is not even if you're in business. If you are looking to get a better job, you have to interview for that, right? You sitting down during an interview and the person asks you, well, why should we hire you for this job? I've seen so many times where the person being interviewed will say, well, I think I'll do a good job for you. Or I just need a job. And so I can help you, or they'll say something weird like that. And it's like, okay, obviously that person was not prepared. They didn't even understand what the interviewer was seeking. And what they are seeking is how can you add value to my business or brand,
Exactly.
And it is a sales job when you are being interviewed. And so you're selling yourself.
Right.
And so if you do not know how to do that, and if you don't even know your value and what you bring to the table, you need to be in Toastmasters. You're going to learn your value. You're going to learn personal development skills, which being able to get a job and have a good paying job, those are all things that personal development does for you. It helps you to do that. And so you do have to be in a place where you can be clear and concise and get the message across that is going to benefit you in reaching your goal or objective.
That is what marketing is largely about. Now, I would certainly have to say that, Versandra, you are the epitome of all the things that we've talked about, from a personal level, and to the extent that for those of you who are, especially the entrepreneurs who want to start and or grow their businesses, you are the most potent part of your promotion at the beginning. And oftentimes, even certain Fortune 500 companies, you would see Bill Gates being interviewed or in media like Forbes magazine or on television, or you see Elon Musk or, certainly Mark Zuckerberg, and whether things are going good or bad, the fact of the matter is, people still connect, even if there are thousands of employees, millions of customers, they connect with the persona of that person. So that should be you. I'm sure you would agree with me. And so I want to say to everybody who views this that you need to see V. Okay. All right. We call her Queen V. So you need to see Queen V so that she can get you hooked up in understanding how your business can be very powerful and impactful and effective at the marketing side of things, like she has with the Private Money Syndicate. So, Versandra, would you please let everybody know how they can get in contact with you for any of the wonderful things that you do? One call. That's all. Whose marketing message is that?
Exactly.
Okay.
Isn't that some perfect example of how we get those marketing messages and they stick in our mind? And so we definitely recall them when necessary. Well, to reach out to me, I would just say the best is my telephone number, 770-687-3789. Today, I talked to you a lot about marketing, but my main focus was Toastmasters. And so I really want you to reach out to Toastmasters by going to d14toastmasters.org. d14toastmasters.org is where you will be able to find any club in the state of Georgia. And we do have about 130 of them in District 14. And we have been around for almost 100 years. Toastmasters is almost, 100? That is centennial.
A century, yeah.
Yeah. And so that lets you know that we've been doing something right for a very long time. And so I hope that you will reach out to me and learn how you can connect with one of the local Toastmasters clubs to assist you with doing it yourself. But if you are one of those people that's like Tony, that just wants to find an expert to get it done, you can reach out to me for that as well. And I would love to assist you with done for you type of activities, as well as teaching you how to do it in the future.
Fantastic. All right. Well, folks, you've heard it from the Queen herself. And Versandra, I'm very, very glad that you spent some time with me because you just helped me to appreciate you that much more. Okay.
Yes, it's
and I'm
always
sure that
a pleasure.
I'm sure you guys appreciate it as well. So please, whether it's Toastmasters, you need some holistic healing, or for the marketing, which was the focus of our discussion today, please contact Versandra. And I would certainly ask you to contact the Private Money Syndicate at www.privatemoneysyndicate.com, or you can call me at 706-888-3719. And before we go, as I always say, if you're going to go in business and stay in business, you got to mind your business. So we'll see you on the next one. And thanks for tuning in.